like the St. Jude Target House. Embodying an incredible partnership for more than 15 years, the St. Jude provides a home away from home for families going through long-term treatment at St. Jude.
When you first get to St. Jude, you have so many things on your mind, and housing has to be part of that equation. So when you walk into Target House and you see how they have everything set up for you, it completely relieves you of that worry.
Every family at Target House is provided a fully furnished 2-bedroom apartment with family space and a full kitchen. Weekly grocery gift cards are also provided so families can maintain the cooking styles and meals as they would at home.
Target House, it was everything and then more that any family could need in a situation that we're in.
While these apartments offer the privacy and space families need, there are many common rooms throughout Target House that promote togetherness, places for sharing and support. This room is sponsored by Olympic gold medalist Shaun White and represents his love of games, his eccentric style, and his generosity to the kids of St. Jude. The more secluded Amy Grant Music Room is a great place for families to relax, watch TV, or maybe share a little music. Volunteers come in occasionally to give guitar or piano lessons to the children. Always full of activity is the playroom. Here, young kids can do what they do best. And for older kids, the teen room has a pool table, video games, and a 3D television. But more importantly, it's a place where teens can be away from the apartment for a while. There's another pool table in the Brad Paisley Lodge. You can see the country western theme of this room in the rustic wood, the pony rug, and the guitar chandelier. The decor creates a western lodge feel and provides an intimate room for families to be themselves. The Dreamworks studio room features animation computer stations, a massive library of Dreamworks media, and a closed-circuit channel for viewing videos and movies the same day they open in theaters. The spacious arts and crafts room is provided by Olympic gold medalist Scott Hamilton. Stocked with art supplies of all kinds, this colorful space provides a creative outlet for the many emotions patients have during their treatment, and the work in this room doesn't go unnoticed. Patient art is on display throughout Target House. There are spaces for reading, for checking emails, for getting work done. Other spaces are made for relaxing and meditating. A fitness room has a range of exercise machines and child-size equipment to assist patients with mobility and to combat muscle atrophy. At Target House, no room brings more people together than the dining room. Accommodating up to 150 people and featuring a full-service commercial-style kitchen, this room is not only a place for families to share meals, but it's used for activities and events. The playground is a wonderland for young kids, accessible by everyone with or without disabilities. The St. Jude Target House brings people together, provides support to patients and parents, and gives families hope and a home at no cost.
One of the first things that her doctor said to us before she even told us anything, she said, "Listen, don't ever worry about cost of food, housing, or treatment. That is all going to be taken care of." And our jaws just dropped. We were like, "For the entire time?" And she said, "Yes, that's all going to be taken care of. You don't have to worry about that at all. All you have to think about is just to help your child live and be comfortable."
You may notice the recurring image of elephants throughout Target House. Elephants are believed to bring good luck. Elephants live for a very long time, and elephants live in families that support each other for life. It's in this spirit that Target and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital have come together to support families when they need it most.
Somebody just told me I look swole, so I guess that's why they call me Tank. But that's really not the case. My name is Aaron Kaufman. Some people call me Tank on Twitter. I'm just_Tank. It's an old school handle that I have from my early days. Quick little history about me. I started my career as a community manager in long ago, almost pre-millennial period, 2004. Um, Working as the community manager of Command and Conquer and Lord of the Rings: Battle for Middle Earth, and then 7 years there, made my way to THQ and was overseeing the WWE and UFC games community. And then after a couple years there, I was most recently for almost a little over 7 years at Santa Monica Studio, helping to build up the brand of the incredible studio that they are in God of War, which many of you guys know. And most recently, I've come over to Square Enix. I'm the new director of social media and community, and just absolutely having a blast, especially on the cusp of Final Fantasy VII Remake releasing, playing that now, and just having a great time. So I take 2 hour lunch breaks every day. Don't worry. 2 plus.
Hey everyone, I'm Vandy. I am the community manager slash team manager for a couple teams on Twitch right now, Confectionery and Would You Kindly. They're teams of really awesome streamers. They're all partners and they are making some incredible content. So first off, like if you're gonna look for some really cool content, you'll want to go check them out. But I got my start in community management actually through Revlo, which doesn't exist anymore, but there's a echo of it that exists now
Love bot.
on Twitch. Yeah, so I mean, like I was straight out of school. I graduated from a design program and they took a chance and I became the community manager for Revlo, met a lot of awesome people there, and that's how I kind of really got my start really with Twitch. I've been streaming for a lot longer than that, but at that point, then I started connecting with more content creators and started working with them individually and then on a more team level. And yeah, we've been working with St. Jude doing fundraising for them for like 6 years. We did an event at PAX West last year. So uh, yeah, my expertise is kind of like all over the place. It's kind of like in design and managing some teams and I like to dip my hands in a whole bunch of different kind of things and do a little bit of everything. So yeah. Thanks.
Sure. What's going on? My name's Kyle, or you can call me Blessius. I got my start in radio right out of high school, and by doing that, I was thrown into like St. Jude radiothons and was able to raise money that way. And back in like 2011, I got to visit St. Jude, and that just blew my mind totally. And I then got into voiceovers and was able to voice some characters in a lot of apps, a lot of commercials. The coolest thing was like a character in Wasteland 2, Ascension McDade. It was a cool thing.
Not
And
a
then
VO voice. I like that. Radio
and
That's
then
voice.
so cool.
I got started into YouTube and Twitch and like just doing voiceovers on the side. And then the moment I remember seeing Guardian Con happen and like seeing people raise money for St. Jude, I'm like, wait, you can play video games and raise money for St. Jude? Like, what? And I remember getting an invite to visit St. Jude for the whole St. Jude Play Live. And it was really cool to experience that. And I was able to raise money for St. Jude Play Live and also Guardian Con's charity blocks that have been happening the past 2 years too. So anything St. Jude, I'm all for. Plus, video games is even cooler. Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
We haven't gone yet. I thought we went. It's over, right?
Well, I don't know if this one applies to me. I mean, like community. Is that why we're here, right? No, I'm kidding. But um, community, like to me, is one of those things that it community. Sorry, am I? I'm not muted. Okay, good. Oh,
No, no,
okay,
you're
no
good.
worries. No, no, don't even worry. No, it's basically just people coming together, and then in that sense, community can really mean anything. Like you have people who come together for, you know, talking about a video game or for art or for, book club. Like really, that's like a form of community in itself. So, community is just a place where somebody or a group of people can feel welcome to participate and, share their interests or similar interests in one way or another.
Yeah, I've done a presentation a couple times at a few social media summits in the last year, and it's all about creating meaningful social media engagements. And I have this slide at the beginning that I ripped off the internet. Don't tell anybody. And it takes a donut, and it basically is like, if a donut was on social media, what would a donut be doing? And if you were on Twitter, you would just say, I'm eating hashtag donut, or Facebook, I like donut, or Spotify, I'm listening to a donut playlist. And that's not community. If that donut was really doing community, the donut would be engaging with other like-minded donuts and sharing that emotional connection. What's great about your donut? Why do you like it? How does it make you feel? And I just think, to me, that it's a funny example, but it expresses why we partake in communities, because we want to relate and connect with each other. And it's at a very simple, basic concept. To me, it's about that emotional connection. I was in a fraternity in college, AE Pi. We were all Jewish. That was kind of like the one like thread that binded us all together. But we all had much, diverse and varied interests. But we could all kind of come together under that one common communal interest of the fact that we were Jewish. But we didn't. We also welcomed people to our fraternity that were not Jewish, that were really into the types of things that we were into. And so I think communities can be as open to others that may be sort of into what the community is representing, and those that are really into it from a core perspective. But at the end of the day, it's all about, not just what you like, but how are you emotionally connecting with it, and how does relating to somebody else about that make you feel and make the other person feel.
Totally. I think for me with community, at least from like a Twitch standpoint, my thing is like you can go to like thousands of creators, and each community is just a little bit different in every way. And for me, it's just important for me just to have something that's just totally like just open for anyone. Hey, you have a bad day with everything that's going on, you can go in there, vent, and just be accepting. That's my thing about community. And I think it gives just that little bit of empathy, gives a little bit of edge to be able to raise money for St. Jude as well.
Yeah. 100%. Communities are so different. Like they're so vast in what they look like. And, let's say you're somebody who's starting out streaming, you're streaming to like one person when you start off, and then you keep going and you keep going. Like you're not a small streamer, you're a streamer. That's kind of the first point I want to get out there. And, you know, the numbers are something that people will always be looking at. But at the end of the day, if you are there and making an impact on somebody else's life, or creating a space where people can come together, you're making a community and you're making a difference. And no matter what, you're going to be able to have some kind of effect on the world around you. So if you're, for example, like if you would consider yourself a smaller streamer or someone who's just wanting to get into it or whatnot, it doesn't matter if you've been there for 6 years or for 6 days. If you're able to turn on the camera for Twitch's sake, if you're turn on the game or whatever you're doing and, say, hey, we're raising money for this, there are people who are going to respond to that. And that in itself is, you know, it's inspirational. You're able to do that. You're able to make a difference even as just one person. It doesn't matter, how many people you have watching you. You're going to reach at least somebody. And that's pretty freaking cool.
It's
Uh,
like the age-old saying, like one person can make a difference, right? We all think like, well, if I don't recycle, right, then I'm not really going to change the world because a million other people are doing it. But that's not true, right? Like you recycle, you start streaming, you raise one more dollar, for that organization, and that's going to make a difference because there's 10,000 other people that are thinking and doing the exact same thing, and now it's $10,000 for that one organization, and you start compounding it with all these micro communities of 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, 100 people, and it all builds and builds and builds. So it doesn't matter whether you have a million plus subscribers or 10 subscribers. It is all meaningful. A community can be whatever it means to you, as long as you are serving the mission that is personal to you. That's what matters most. I don't believe most creators out there started with the intent or even the foresight that they would grow to what they became today. Dr. Lupo, one of your more prolific creators for St. Jude. I don't really know his history, but I would bet that he would have never predicted he'd be where he is today, let alone what he's doing for St. Jude. I don't think people start out with that mission. They start out because they believe in something and they want to start streaming because of it. And when that feels natural and authentic, they grow as a result.
Yes,
uh, I
that's
think
it.
I think to answer that with like charity, say like say you like message your entire family, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad, and then maybe like two of your best friends, be like, hey, I'm gonna be playing this game and raising money. And like, hey, if you donate $20, I'll do something stupid. But if you donate $200, I'm gonna do something really silly. And
Giving you 200
like
bucks right
maybe
now. What are you gonna do?
like so like your uncle's like, all right, I want to see you do this. $200, and that's $200 for good. And hey, anybody can do that. And like say like if you have 20 people watching you, that's a whole lot more of a chance of someone be like, hey, I really want to see this guy do this. And then it just is like an avalanche snowball effect.
100%. And
Like,
like,
yes, it's very
oh
true.
yeah. I, I always think about it like this, when you're streaming and let's say you're streaming to like 5 people, it's like imagine 5 people in a room, right? 5 people sitting in front of you and you're just talking and doing stuff, right? And like Les was saying, hey, okay, if anyone just chips in, a dollar or something, I'll do something. I'll like put a sticker on my face or whatever, you
Yeah.
know? And then you see like some stuff just like piles up and yeah, it becomes this mountain, I guess. And like little bit by little bit, you can see the community just interacting and they can see um a reaction, I guess, or they can see, what they're doing is having an effect. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think a lot of and I come from this world, there's a lot of like the marketing language that has kind of like seeped its way into the industry. You've got the micro influencer, the macro influencer, and then the big time creator. And I think those terms kind of they create like this kind of like false advertorial perception that might make someone a little bit almost skittish of getting into the game, because if they're not seen that way, then maybe they feel like they're not, not to say that they're not nothing, but I think it's an unfair precedent that that's become a part of our culture where, like you're saying, If you got 5 people that are watching you, you're a creator. If you're streaming something that you believe in, you're a creator. Doesn't matter your size. You shouldn't start streaming, with the intent that you're trying to grow to some large conglomerate. You should, start from the inside and then let everything else happen organically. uh, I would love to see a world where the term for what we are all doing, you guys notably, it's creator. And sure, if you got a million or 10,000, the marketing person, is probably going to look at, what's going to be a good reach, the charity, that you're raising for. Sure, someone with a million can potentially raise more than someone with 1,000, maybe not. But again, like, we shouldn't be getting hung up on the numbers and terminology. We're all creators.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Well, I think when people are like taking, I mean, if you just look at like the most obvious outliers of, Star Wars, right? People embracing, a phenomenon, IP through UGC, through, creating their own creations. Like when people start embracing your mission, your belief, and creating their own from it, uh, to me, that's the first sign of a great community. They're starting to carry your message. Star Wars is a terrible example because that's like a phenomena, right? Um, Look at a game like, this is kind of personal to me. Journey from that game company came out in 2012, right? Amazing game,
Love
amazing
Journey.
message. You're done with the game in a half hour. When that game company created it, they would have predicted it would do millions, and what it did today, and be on different platforms and touch people in such a way and create this amazing organic community on its own, with people, thinking of the larger themes of death and ascension and reaching higher beliefs. But people are embracing that game with cosplay and fan art and all kinds of things that are personal to them. It's an example to me that doesn't get mentioned enough, but that's example of successful community to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's from a brand perspective 100%, like being able to be kind of recognizable in a sense and have people champion the brand in a way. Yeah, and champion the message too. I know for Would You Kindly, we've been raising for St. Jude for quite a long time, and our community is like across all the creators, they're voracious. Everyone in in those communities, individually and as a whole, they come together to, you know, work together, and even if they've never met each other in person at conventions, if you're like, "Oh, wait, do you know this creator? Do you know Would You Kindly?" Like they'll like suddenly become closer because of that. We've had people get into relationships because they've met each other through the communities. Like it's
Uh,
been insane. Yeah. We have like a WoW guild that is still going really, really strong. And that to me, it's engaging. And what Tank was saying, it's engaging in one way or another, where you have people coming together and then being like, oh, you like this thing? I like this thing. Let's kind of talk about this thing together, or like do this other thing together, and engaging, having a community that engages with either your message, or even if they go off and like meet each other and do other things. I think that's a really good indicator of a successful community.
I like, this isn't even my thing, but like, I don't know if you know the story about like how Guardian Con was formed. It was just like a Destiny community meetup at like a random bar, and it grew into like a little convention and a medium convention. Now that this huge convention that always happens, but like they raise money, and either it's like people going there to like support St. Jude at these conventions, or donating during like these blocks. It's so cool that like even for like this thing that started with Destiny, now that is expanded to other games, and is like its own community with like that's on Mixer and Twitch and Facebook gaming, and no matter where gaming does good and people are raising money from it, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that is a successful community. I would
talk
say
to
never take
them.
donations directly. Just that is like just never. That is
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
straight up never give someone like, oh yeah, just like donate to me and I'll do it. No, that is no. I would say just go to tiltify.org or if you go to playlive.stjude.org,
Tiltify
that
is
is
the best
number
tool on the
one.
block for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good Lively is another good
Hmm. Um, talk to your communities, talk to your families, whatever. See, if you want to find ways to entertain, because we were talking about, you know, donating and seeing something happen, right? Donate $1, I'll do something stupid. Donate $100, I'll do something even more dumb. Like
Yeah.
it's like talk to them and just be like, hey, if I did this, like, how much would you pay for something like this? You
one.
know, and no, truly, like, you just be like, "How much would you pay for something like this?" And they might say, "I don't know, like, a couple bucks or something," and be "Okay, well, if I'm actually raising money for St. Jude, you know, if I do this, would you wanna help?" kinda thing. Like, it's kinda one of those things that you can talk to people and just be like, "I'm gonna do something entertaining, and I'm doing something for a good cause. And I'd love for you to help." So it's mostly just kind of like going out there and just talking to them, just be like, "Hey, like, maybe do you have some ideas? I don't know." When you're starting out, when I was starting out, I had no ideas of what I wanted to do for incentives. And, then I started actually leaning more on my community and my mods and just being like, "Hey, so, like, what if we did this?" And then they would come up and we'd just like kind of workshop the ideas and we'd come up with stuff that people would really, really like. And then we ended up raising a lot more than we thought. So, yeah, communication with your communities and your people. I think that's a really good way to start.
You guys have much deeper experience in this than I do. My examples are pretty limited, but if there's one thing I know, it's that reaching out to the community around you, right? Like partnering with other people that have a similar belief. So if there's other streamers that want to co-stream your stream, reaching out to them, even if you don't know them, cold call, direct message, kind of it's kind of that online door-to-door mentality, guerrilla marketing, right? Guerrilla market for yourself. I'm obsessed with Shark Tank, and I hear Mark Cuban say that all the time, that he used to go door to door, and that's how he became a billionaire. I don't know if that's entirely true, but either way, I think to be successful in this space, you got to grind. You can't just expect it all to happen magically and come to you. And there's so many different tools, so many good case studies and best examples out there, and there's so many people out there that believe in a similar cause as you. If you're raising money, I work for or I'm on the board for a nonprofit called America Scores LA. And, if an organization wanted to raise funds for us, I would hope that they'd actually reach out to us and then we can partner with them. And now we can promote them on our channels. We're fairly small, but if you're raising funds for, say, Samaritan House or St. Jude, right? Reach out to St. Jude, talk to their social team, have, you guys would be crazy not to cross promote that. It doesn't matter if you got 5 people, 10 people, whatever. I think we all like undervalue what I just call like low hanging fruit. You don't need money to do any of this stuff. Think of all the low hanging fruit ways you can reach out and get a message out to somebody. That's where I would start if I were in your guys' shoes.
One thing, if I could just add to it, like the whole door to door thing, like you were just saying, like no matter how big or small you are, all you have to look up is like, hey, what is something that someone might want? Okay, like say there's like these headphones. Let me look up who is the account like community guy for this headphone company. You can find his email pretty easy just by a search on like just like, hey, game company community rep. You might find the Twitter. Send them an email saying, hey, I'm raising money for St. Jude. Is there any way that I could get a pair of headphones for a raffle that might happen if people donate $20 or more for St. Jude? And I'm guaranteeing you will get a response back. It might not be like, oh, I got that for sure. You might get it like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have extra stock. But like from Elgato, they like, even when I was the smallest streamer, they were like, they would see me doing a thing and be like, oh yeah, all you have to do is just give us the address and that's it. And then the other thing is like anything with like that St. Jude will help. And like I know that you had the thing where like you could see the Discord. If you go in there, they'll answer any questions that you have with that 100% too.
I know we're getting into like almost like networking tactics here for people who like, raise money, which is
Yeah.
good. And I was just going to recommend it's in any way, it's not related at all to, charity, but if we're just talking about outreach, um, as a social media manager, I get hit up a lot on LinkedIn, from people from various services, agencies, influencer marketing, et cetera. And a lot of times the email feels fairly robotic, doesn't feel like they maybe took the time to like even look at my profile, look at my personal interests, try to like make that email feel a bit more personable. I mean, hell, you can even go look at my Facebook page and know that I have a son, and I might be a little creepy, but at any rate, this one I'll nameless agency reached out to me recently, and I thought it was a bot or something because what the email was basically a GIF of the person holding a sign with my name, like John Cusack in what's that movie? Where he's holding up the boombox.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah. I forget
yeah.
the name of that.
Oh man, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
killed for not knowing the name of that movie. But anyways,
Chat will help. Like it'll be fine. Chat will figure it out.
Say
but
anything.
There,
he
yeah,
made
say
a
anything.
he made a GIF of himself holding this sign saying, "Hello, Aaron. I'd love to talk to you." And what it turned out was it was actually when I clicked it, it went to a personal video that he had recorded using this service called Vidyard. And it's like an open source platform that allows you to record a short video message, plugs into your Chrome browser, and you can like insert it into any email client and it generates an auto GIF that you can like choose your thumbnail from.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like,
I never
man,
even.
that's effing clever. You got my attention. And that was 3 weeks ago. We've had 3 meetings since, and we might actually do some business.
That's
That's so
So,
cool. Yeah.
now
So
I know what
yeah,
I'm gonna do.
to echo a couple of the statements, yeah, that you guys said, like first things first, be professional. Yeah. Be professional, be personable, and be creative. Like those are the three things that I will kind of stick to every time when I go and reach out to people. Um, you want to make sure that people know that you're being serious and you're not just like coming up here and, trying to pitch it to like 1,000. It doesn't matter how many people you're trying to pitch it to. Each person you should be pitching it to, or each company, or each rep, you should make sure that you're always being professional and not like slipping into, I don't know, colloquialisms or anything. Yeah, and then being personable, like you want to, yeah, make sure that you know who you're talking to. Look a little bit, do a little bit of research into who they are. When I was working at Revlo and we were trying to get new people on board on the program, um, I would look at every single person individually that I would message, and no email would be the same. I would make sure each email that I sent, it was never a bot that was sending it, and it was always something that I genuinely enjoyed about somebody's content. So I spent hours, weeks, months of my time doing that, and it paid off. We ended up having a whole bunch of really like perfect creators for the program, for promoting Revlo, and we did a really good job with that. Um, and then finally, like being creative, yeah, coming up with something that will grab people's attention, that will make them remember you. That is so key, because in a sea of emails that people will get, if yours stands out, you can guarantee that somebody's going to come back and just be like, hey, remember that person who sent that email with the video? Wasn't that wild? We should talk to that person, you know? So it's staying top of mind for people is really important, especially if you're trying to get a response.
That
So
kind
you're
of goes
saying
back
use
to like why
Comic
you want to be
Sans.
part of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kyle. Go for
Oh,
it.
sorry.
No,
I,
no,
I was just gonna say a joke. Like that's why you use Comic Sans in the
Oh
entire
God.
email.
no.
Deleted, blocked. My
Yeah, I
designer
see one
brain.
more fucking Arial Calibri font, impact, bold, 15 point, you know.
I want to talk to you in papyrus.
Papyrus.
I got you. Don't worry. Oh man.
Someone said I attached dog memes to all my initial outreach emails, and I'm like, okay, that'll get me.
Honestly, I'm gonna start just sending pictures of my cats. They're like clouds. They're just very, very fluffy. And who doesn't like cats, right?
You could
Right?
put the person in the meme, is what you really should do.
Oh yeah.
Risky, but
Risky.
But if it bangs, I mean, then you know you're good. hmm hmm Make sure the person you're reaching out to is a meme lord too. So
Yeah.
I'm not a meme lord, I'll tell you that.
In the medicine room, I receive IV chemo, shots if I need them. I receive IV fluids or platelets or blood transfusions. Hi, I'm Myra. I'm a patient of St. Jude. Welcome to the medicine room. When I walked into the medicine room my very first time, it was a little scary just because there are rooms everywhere and people going places and it's very busy. But now when I walk in there, I'm always smiling and laughing and joking around with some of the nurses that I've come to know. Even when I'm not here getting medicine, there's always a lot going on in the medicine room. Just ask the people who work here.
The medicine room at St. Jude is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And we get to see everybody. And that's the thing that I really love about working in this unit. My name is Patricia Kathy. I've been at St. Jude 24 and a half years. I'm the nurse manager of the medicine room. It is a 28-area treatment room, which includes 25 private rooms, 3 negative pressure isolation rooms, and 3 chairs. I have about 40 nurses that work on this unit. They love the patients. Everybody knows what their mission is on this unit. It's hustle and bustle in here. My nurses in here, we take care of the leukemia patients, the solid tumor patients, the hematology patients, the brain tumor patients. We administer a lot of chemotherapy. We do an abundance of blood products, red blood cells, platelets.
I visit the medicine room maybe once a week. Treatment is not the same for every patient. There are some treatment plans that are 2 years or more. My treatment plan was 9 to 12 months.
Once the medication comes from pharmacy, we have a room that we set up, we call the counter room. And it's a room where the pharmacist brings all the medication out. There's one RN in that room. That RN is responsible for checking the protocol, making sure that the patient is on the right protocol, the right week, and it's the right dose. The assigned RN that's going to be administering medication, she comes in, picks that medication up. She does that entire check again. After she does that check, she takes it to the patient's bedside. Another RN comes in, and she does a check, what we call the positive patient identification check. We're here because we choose to be here. That's not the family's journey. They're here trying to fight to save their children's life, and we're become a small part of their journey.
When I'm finished with treatment, we go into clinic and I get what it's called a no more chemo party.
Our patients have the cutest SMILE.
And all the nurses and your doctor come in with handfuls of confetti and they sing you a song and then they just throw it all at you.
Now's the time we get to say, pack up your bag, get out the door, you don't get chemo anymore.
I'm glad I got to share the medicine room with you. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.
I didn't know this was a thing, so I now we have to make you cry.
Oh.
Oof. It's okay. It's okay to be an internet crybaby. It's like you have a soul. It's okay. It's good. That's actually my Animal Crossing tag too, is internet crybaby. So I feel you.
Wait, that's an Animal Crossing tag?
Yep.
Oh,
I
for your
changed the things.
passport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mine's internet trash.
Perfect. That's it. You got this. You know, um, I never really fundraised for charities much before I did with St. Jude. And I think it's probably because I never really found a cause that resonated with me as genuinely, I guess, as St. Jude's did. And when I started looking into fundraising for St. Jude and what St. Jude kind of was, I was really taken aback by how uh, I mean, how like, it sounds really kind of cliche, but just how good it is. Like it caters towards all the patients and the families, and the research is freely distributed across the world. That's to me, that's a really huge thing. That's it feels like they're genuinely trying to do good towards not just the people that they cater to, but to everybody. And um at that point, I kinda looked at it and I was like, "You know what? It makes sense to me." I know, like, I've lost people to cancer, and I know pretty well everyone has somebody that they know who's either gone through chemo or who's lost someone to cancer. Like, it's such a widespread kind of health issue that it it just kind of it made sense for me. Like, I felt like it was a genuine cause, and that I wasn't gonna be, like whenever you look towards a yeah big fucking mood, um, yeah, like I'm rambling at this point, but realistically, it's everyone's lost someone to cancer, and the fact that honestly, the fact that the research is distributed and that they take care of the families so well, to me was like it really made me feel for it, like for the cause. And the more years I've participated, the closer I've gotten to it, the more people I've met that have been having, really genuine stories, been like, yeah, this has helped me, or, you know, we can see the impact. And it kind of makes you feel like you're actually accomplishing something by raising, um, every year. So,
Uh, for me, I just have to echo everything that you said because for me that's the most important thing. And I for me, I don't like I struggle with the whole thing of like, oh, what draws me to St. Jude to, try to raise money for it. I think for me, it was like when I had the opportunity to do radiothons when I was in radio before even doing like YouTube and Twitch. Um, it blew my mind being able to visit St. Jude. Like when you go there, you think, oh, this is a hospital. It's going to smell like a hospital. It's going to feel like a hospital. It's going to be sad. But when you go into that, it is something where like there's no frowns. And there's this cafe, and it's called the Kind Cafe. And when you go in there, doctors are sitting with families. And um, back when I was in radio, you could go into the tour into the cafe, and there was this and oh no worries. And there was this moment of like this mother is like talking to this doctor, and behind them was this kid on a tricycle, and he's just smiling, and behind him was his sister who was like completely bald, and had IV tanks on, like, just, and was just being pulled by this tricycle, and everyone's smiling, and I don't know, for some reason I just got teary-eyed. And I remember someone was like, hey, whatever you do not cry. Whatever you do, and if you do, don't let anybody see you, because this place is about happiness and it's about everything. And it, like, there's no way I could not support that. And the fact that they take care of their families so well, and I mean families, even if like everyone in that family is taken care of, and the fact no one has to pay anything, research is distributed freely around the world. And it's not even just about cancer, sickle cell anemia, they cured the bubble boy syndrome. Like, they do so much good there. It There's no way I would not support St. Jude.
No, no, no. I have not personally raised money for St. Jude yet, but I think no, yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I'm on the board of directors for a charity, like I was saying earlier, called America Scores LA. But I do have a small story related to St. Jude, and part of it's slightly embarrassing. When I early on when I was working at Santa Monica Studio, I kept confusing sort of Children's Hospital LA with St. Jude. The names were kind of similar, and that point aside, there is kind of this like there's a bit of a connection. So in I think it was 2014 or 15, I was helping market this game called Hohokam, and it was this beautiful music game with this like animated 2D art, and you would move through the game, and it was all driven by music and beautiful artwork, developed by these great developers at Honey Slug. And I had gotten networked in with somebody at Children's Hospital LA, and they had kind of a similar kind room. It's like a music room, and we decided to bring our game Hohokam there to a small group of patients to kind of bring some joy into their day and give them an experience to play the game before anybody else did, but it wasn't really about that in particular. It was more just about what the game stood for and the music and the joy that it would bring to people. And the development team also made these incredible art books. It was like a children's book. It basically it looked like you were bringing the game to life in a book. And so I just had that incredible experience with that hospital in particular in that moment. There's a video on the internet about it. It didn't resolve to funds donated, but it was an experience that we brought to just bring joy to these kids in that moment while they're going through some very trying times. So fast forward 5 years later, I'm talking to my buddy Jason Heitman, who you work with there at St. Jude in the gaming department. Thunder, homeboy, love that guy. And I was like, Jason, we've had about 500 Hohokam books sitting in a closet at my studio forever, and because we just can't. It's not as if we can't get rid of them. We don't want to get rid of them. We want to put them in good hands. And it just dawned on me. I was like, why don't we just donate these to St. Jude? And he's like, send the boxes. So, literally after these boxes sat there for 5 years or 4 years, we sent all the Hohokam art books to St. Jude. And I imagine, many of them have worked their way into, rooms. And it's just like this funny small world connection of a hospital that I sort of thought at one point was under the branch of St. Jude, but it wasn't. We did a thing with this game, and that's my one small donation to St. Jude to date. But just listening to you guys talk about the mission, and it's very clear why the likes of Dr. Lupo and so many others are raising funds for St. Jude. We all have charities that are personal to us, but the way that you guys just pull people in, small, medium, large, to continue to raise funds for your mission worldwide is incredible. And with my role at Square Enix now, kind of overlooking our social, I'm hoping, at least from the corporate side, that in a not so distant future, that we can find a way to do the same. Because I think your mission and what you guys stand for is very connected to what we do. And so I hope we'll get there. It's one of the few things on my charitable agenda, you could say. Yeah. If you donate $10, I'll give you a book right now. Well, I said 10. Actually, that's pretty cheap. But you were talking about crazy things that people do to donate money, so that's not crazy at all. But I don't feel at all. Please don't apologize at all. I'm here to support you guys, and I'm just sitting here being inspired. Like I said, I mean, I didn't come into this call kind of knowing what would inspire me, but I'm certainly coming out of it, feeling like Rudy just scored his touchdown and wants, super motivated and want to go raise funds for St. Jude. So, honestly, so.
Well, that is kind of a loaded question, and lucky for me, I have my handy St. Jude Summit over here. But one of the things is like if you were invited there, you kind of got it. One like the entire facility is painted in artwork from the kids, and alongside like the walls you can see uh, people that might have been there as a kid, that might have been diagnosed with cancer, and like all of a sudden now work there as adults. And I think that's pretty cool. um there's, oh man, like if I may go on a little bit of a rant, I'll be quick. I
We got an hour.
heard the story,
Seriously, tell us everything.
the story of the K Cafe, like I was just saying earlier. But there was I believe this little girl that was uh, there, and she was sick, and she didn't want to eat what was being served, and her family was just being a little bit worried about her. And so one of the chefs went up there and say, "Hey, what, like, is there anything I can make you?" And then she was just the little girl was like, "No, I want my grandma's mac and cheese." And so the chef got a hold of the parents, like, "Hey, can I please, like, maybe call the grandmother to try to learn the recipe?" He got the recipe and was able to actually make the mac and cheese just like how grandma made it, and was able
Oh,
to give it to the girl. That is one of my favorite stories. One thing that's in your book, if you got one, is the St. Jude ABCs of Cancer. Now, at St. Jude, this thing isn't a book that I know of. Maybe it is, but like there's like these little like almost poems and artwork, like, "Hey, B is for Beanie," and like it's just like this story of like what this means to, this patient. And like you can go through A, B, C, D, and some will make you laugh, some will make you cry. And I I uh, I can't tell you how much the doctors care, whether it's, like Ricky, Amanda, Zach, Jason from St. Jude play live. You, like, there's so much passion there. And if you ever had the opportunity just to visit, just like you leave with such a positive experience, and you just feel lifted. And I know it was canceled this year or postponed, but if you ever had the chance, St. Jude is it's a beacon of light in this world. It's just a beacon of light.
oh my God, I'm like emotional just thinking about that book because I'm supposed to be getting my box at one point soon, and I'm like, I'm like nervous because I know I'm just gonna start bawling. Oh, it's but I was actually, yeah, I was supposed to go this year for the first time. Unfortunately, with it being canceled, it's not gonna happen, but it's okay. Uh because we get to still do stuff online. But uh, a lot of the stories that I hear from people are just about how grounding it is and just how humbling the experience is. I've one of the most, one of the biggest feelings, I guess, that stuck with me is speaking with Little Siha. Avery is a huge champion of St. Jude, and every time I talk to her about St. Jude, I'm almost reduced to tears just from how moved she is and how much I like want to help too. And she's so inspiring in the way that she kind of speaks about it because she's clearly been affected on a personal level. And when she gets to go, or when she was able to go in and visit the place, and when she was telling me about it, I was just like, I just sat there in silence and just I felt you know, humbled just listening to it and seeing how much it impacted her and impacted a bunch of my other teammates. I was just, you know, uh, it kind of just reinforces that I'm kind of doing a good thing by helping in one way or another. And yeah, I don't know. Really, it's the humbling part. It really is apparently just super, super humbling. And, uh, oh God, I think about it, I'm just like already getting emotional. I'm like a big crybaby, but seriously, it's yeah. Ah! Oh my
How do you
gosh.
guys feel like the morning you wake up after a visit like that? Like, what are like some of the things that are going through your mind? You're just like, shit, I gotta like get up and do this. Like, what do you feel?
For me, like I immediately, like, I know it sounds like cheesy and like it's like what I was supposed to say, but like I just think of like ways like how like what's something that I can do to like raise money. And like I get excited about like, okay, well, like when I do my charity stream, I want to do this. Like, hey, if I do this, will it make people do that? You know? And like I just get excited about it. And it makes me, I don't know, for me, it energizes me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so cute.
I
Oh
also
my
like
god.
mom and everything.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even know about that one.
Ugh.
Oh, I thought I was prepared.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm back.
You
I
know,
don't have much of a story connection, but as I been getting to know your organization more, and I had to just look it up just to remind myself because it was in my head. But you're talking about the beating heart and the song, and that's yeah, that's something that sticks with you for the rest of your life, and then the next life, and the next life, and the next life. Uh, but what's continues to stick with me, and full disclosure, I haven't actually done it because I don't have a VR headset and I need to get one. But your St. Jude Hall of Heroes is I've seen the video. I mean, you want to cry on the spot. Just go look at that, and the way you guys kind of merged, honored certain patients with these statues, and you tell their story, and you can get right in there. Like, I hope that's something that you guys build on and find a way to bring that to more people to kind of interact and experience the stories. You're right. Nothing's more important than the stories. And you guys, and I mean this with the absolute best heartful intent, you litter your social media with the stories of St. Jude. And that's what you need to keep doing. That's why people are streaming for you, because they're connecting to the stories. And that kind of goes back to the original point of why we're all here. It's like, why do you stream? Why do you stream for charity? It's because you are connecting to the story. You have a personal connection to that charity. And I think whether we all, have been impacted by cancer or not, we all know somebody or connected to somebody who has. So fuck cancer and keep raising funds for you guys.
oh,
David. Well, he's a real ham. He's very bright, he's fully bilingual.
Spanish, English, Chinese. Just kidding, no Chinese.
He loves people, he's very social. He can meet a friend anywhere. He's a very loving boy. Every day, he'll come up and give me a hug. Come up and put his head on me and give me a hug, just to tell me, hey, Papa, I love you. David is an American citizen born and raised in Honduras, because that's where I've worked for the last 15 years.
In Honduras, it never gets chilly. I like going to the beach. It's pretty. And it has crystal clear water.
David's been a real normal kid, an island boy, playing on the beach, fishing, and, running around doing island things. I am his legal guardian, his blood grandfather, and I have been raising him with Christine, who is his mommy, not his blood mother, but the woman who he calls mommy, since birth. He's just like my son.
And he's like a father to me.
He was in a very good school, a private school, and on one school day, Christine said, hey, on the way to school, I want you to take David by the clinic and get a blood workup done on him. She said there's something going on with him. Thank God for her intuition. I took him by the clinic on the way to school and had his blood drawn, and the results came back later that same day that he did, in fact, have leukemia.
Cancer. I hate it. It's mean.
I've dealt with cancer myself, but when it comes to your child, it's altogether different. It's terrifying. The hospital we had to go through in a bad part of town. I literally had to fight my way through people to get him seen. It's something you'd see in a movie. It was a disaster, and unclean. I slept on the concrete floor under his bed for the 2 nights that we stayed there. After about 48 hours on the mainland, he was on a plane to the U.S., to Memphis. When I saw that gate go up and the guard recognized who we were, I felt a huge burden released. His doctors were worried that he may not survive the first couple of days. The first 3 months are very intense. It's a lot of chemotherapy, at least once a week. He has monthly spinal punctures where they'll inject chemo into his spine to hopefully kill the cancer that may be in his spine and in his brain. And he has many times looked up at me in innocent eyes and said, "Papa, I wish I didn't have cancer." I do know that he's in the very best hands that he could be anywhere in the world. You only need to be here at this hospital for a little while to be convinced of that.
You okay?
His reactions to treatment have surpassed their expectations, and he continues to do very well. He looks good, he acts good, and he's going to beat this.
St. Jude exceeds any expectation or any dream I could have ever had about a hospital. I expected to pay, but then I was told we wouldn't get a bill. I didn't quite process that right away. How's this possible? Well, it's possible through all the wonderful people who donate. I am able to focus on his care because of the donors. This whole experience, and I mean this, has really shown me how much goodness there still is in this world.
I like to practice a little bit on my guitar. We sometimes go out and go fishing.
I can't wait for David to be completely healed. I want to show him how to throw a cast net. I want to show him different ways to catch the big one. His healing is my goal in life. I'm so thankful that there are so many people that have opened their hearts to this amazing cause of saving children's lives. It's working.
Look, props to the Tiltify guys. I just clicked it and 2 clicks through Amazon Pay. So I guess I'm upselling the product now. I should get some affiliation fee that I'll then redonate back to charity again. So no, it was awesome. Really awesome. Donate people. It's easy. 2 clicks, 3 clicks, you're done. Donate.
Use what you're good at, for sure. And also use anything and everything. Is like I'm an artist by trade. Like I'm a designer. I do art and stuff on my streams. Last year I did a limited run of custom profile pictures that sold out within minutes. It was super successful. And it was really fun for me to do because I got to do them on stream as well. Use your strengths. If your community really likes a particular game, or if they like a particular game or watching a particular game and you hate it and they know it, make that an incentive, you know, and play it up. It's a way for, you to have fun and do something a little different, like off the cuff, or not something you do on a regular kind of stream day. Um, you know, make something that your community will like, or make something that your community can engage with. So I know one of the things my community has been talking about is, Animal Crossing is really big right now, making custom little things in game where you can paint on the ground with people's names if you donate in your town. So that way, in my town, there'd be a whole walkway full of people's names of people who donated to the cause.
So cool.
So there's just a whole bunch of different ways that you can do it. Like work with what you have and work with your strengths, and you know, just make something interesting and cool. That's yeah.
I guess for me is like I don't really have this is not self-deprecation, but I don't really have like a talent where like I can't make a song. Like I know 88-bit music, he is talented, he can make a composition.
What are you talking about? You got an amazing voice.
Well, yeah, but for me it's like when I ever had the opportunity to work with like the GCX, the Guardian Con charity streams, like for me I was always thinking like, oh, like, well, like you have like these big hitters, like, oh, they'll like, what can I do that they're not doing? And I might be a little on the radical side of this, but like just have, you know, like, do I like eating habaneros? No. But hey, I know that someone might get a kick out of me being in pain for about 2 minutes. You know, like I have literally wax strips over here.
Oh my gosh.
Go. Wax strip. If someone donates $500, I will do this right now, by the way. $500. That's it. That's it. Someone donated $500? Oh.
Wait.
Why did I have to say
just
that?
now? That counts. That counts.
I don't
Kyle,
know.
you gotta do it,
I'm
man.
with you, Carolyn. That counts. That definitely
I think
counts.
that counts.
At the end of the stream, I'll do it. I'll do it at the end of the stream.
This
But,
is how you engage your communities, kids. Okay, like.
But you're a legend. But I will do it at the end of the stream. But like, just like I like to do things that like I don't like pain. But the thing is like if I can make someone smile, and especially like right now, man, like right now is such a like people are like going through horrible things, and like if I can at least make someone smile by me being a doofus for 2 seconds, you know.
Why do you think I'm smiling?
Listen, I've been called evil in the chat here, and I just want to say, like, listen, I manage streamers like on a daily basis. I will make them do dumb shit. Like, I will make them do, like, if there's something dumb that they can do because their community raised them out, I will harp on them until they do it. So, sorry, Kyle.
I can exploit my 4-year-old son if someone wants to donate. Next person to donate $25, I'll send you a personal video of my 4-year-old son singing you happy birthday.
I mean, I can bring out my snake on stream. I mean, yeah.
Also, a dog donates $100.
Yeah, I'm lowballing it. Yeah, I got a copy of God of War. If anybody wants that.
The one other thing I will say is like I noticed this with a lot of streams, and like I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but a lot of things are like, hey, if we hit this milestone in the next year, we'll do blank. But like I feel like, hey, if you reach that, why not do some things like cool then? And so like for me, I just like, I'm not saying it like for everyone. I know it's not possible for everything, but like for anything that I do that's a milestone or incentive, I like to have happen right then, because it also has the like, oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot. I want to donate more for him to do something stupider. Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
I remember
yeah.
in 2015, I guess this is one of my stories if it relates to a question or not, but we were for the 10-year anniversary of God of War, we were doing I had a bit of a personal connection to Able Gamers. had met Craig and Steve and those guys over the years, and to celebrate 10 years of God of War, we wanted to raise money for able gamers. And so in the vein of like craziness, but from a brand perspective, it wasn't necessarily crazy. We're like, hey, let's reach out to Awesome Games Done Quick and see if they want to do God of War done quick. And we basically did. We were one of the first people to like. I was just like, they're raising millions of dollars. I mean, yeah, I'd like to peel off that a little bit for able gamers. Why not? But let's see if we can do something fun with them. And they were super into the idea, and we flew in some of the top God of War speedrunners from around the world to see if they could break the world record for playing God of War 1, 2, 3. And I think all 3 games were done in it might have been like an hour or 2 each, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I do distinctly remember that Greg Miller and Corey Barlog had a kiss midstream when the donation the donation threshold hit a certain dollar amount. And so I thought that was really endearing and adorable because Greg and Tim were our hosts, and Corey Barlog, who was on the stream, talking about God of War 2, and that was just that was a memorable moment. It's one of my charitable stream memories, if you will. There you go. There you go. That's all you need. Greg was not shirtless. Obi-Wan Shinobi.
Uh,
Is
uh,
it more on the personal side or on because we all work for we work for our respective companies? Are you asking? Yeah.
I'm gonna say like individually, uh, it changes every year. It kind of depends on what I have going on, other than my personal stream. But the stuff I do for the teams will always take priority because I'm working with a whole bunch of people who are reaching out to even more people. And so we're having like I'm casting a wider net, I suppose, and making uh, more intricate ideas and incentives and whatnot. So, gosh, I mean, we've already started kind of planning stuff for May, but uh, it kind of, I don't know, like for, I guess like for the work stuff, it would probably be more like a week or 2 of planning, maybe more intermittently. And then individually, it's maybe a couple days, like of really just kind of sitting there and kind of planning stuff out and working with my mods and preparing assets and yeah. But realistically, yeah, working with the teams and coming up with something uh, that reaches even further than just me is the priority, and that usually takes a little longer because we're working with a whole bunch of different people, including Tiltify, including St. Jude proper. Like it's so yeah. I mean, it really depends year by year, but um, that's kind of where I'm at.
For me, I guess, I don't know, like I'm way more disorganized than you are. For me, like if there's like something that I want to do, like like my wife dressed up as Harambe to like egg me in the face and shave my head and shave my eyebrows.
Wow.
And I know.
Why didn't you do that on this one?
That's amazing.
Well, so like I guess like that was thought out, like, oh yeah, let's buy a Harambe suit, like but I am very much not that organized. I think about like milestones and incentives, but like I'm very much like, oh, I'm very much like, oh, the stream is in 2 hours. I need to make sure. So, I mean, everything is very simple. Tiltify integrates into, I'm sure, Stream Elements really well. I have all my stuff set up through Streamlabs. So, like, if alert goes, I have custom alerts that have like this elaborate thing that says, "Thank you for donating to St. Jude," and And then I just make sure to have things that are easy to pop up on the stream, kind of like how you have for this stream, that you can like change scenes to make sure that, hey, like if you donate $20, this will happen. If we hit this landmark, this will happen. And just make sure just to keep pulling on the string. I also want to say St. Jude has really, 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 really awesome new donation bars. I don't know if that's the thing. Overlays. They are so much cooler. I got to use them 2 this year for 2 fundraisers I've done this year. And it is so cool. It'll say highest donators. It'll show recent donators. It'll like change up, and like it's like a Final Fantasy boss battle where it'll just like, hey, we're so close to this happening. Why not donate? You know, it's pretty cool looking. It's really cool looking. Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Hello, I'm Ricky. I'm the UX developer on the St. Jude Play Live team, and I just want to take a minute to go over some of the new tools and resources that we're going to be rolling out this year. This past year, we wanted to offer our fundraisers basically easier ways to track their fundraising progress, offer them better Play Live themed graphics to use on their streams, and to connect with their chat through some new interactive chatbot commands, plus a few other things. We've put a lot of work and effort into these, and I really hope you enjoy them. So without further ado, let's check them out. So this is where you'll first land when you go to stjude.org/playlive-toolkit. And here's where you'll find all the new tools and resources that we're rolling out for everyone this year. And if you start to scroll down, you'll notice some of the new things we've added down here. And I'm going to talk about these 4 right here first. The classic overlay, the slanted overlay, the minimum overlay, and the max overlay. All these will have similar functionality to fundraising overlays you've probably used in the past. They'll pull in your fundraising amount, the goal you set for your campaign, and even some of your most recent donors. We've added some really cool features to these overlays, in that they'll also pull in your milestones, challenges, and rewards that you may have set up for your Tiltify fundraising campaign. We wanted to add these features in hopes that it will allow you as the streamer to focus more on your stream and less time having to constantly remind your viewers of the next thing that's coming up for your fundraising campaign. So we really hope you like these new tools that we've added for these overlays. We've also added these 2 things down here, the Instagram bundle and the Play Live graphics bundle. The Instagram bundle are some really cool Play Live themed Instagram story templates that you can use to easily promote your Play Live fundraising campaign. There's some really cool graphics in here, and I definitely suggest you check them out. And we've also added some updated Play Live graphics for your stream. So if you want to have a Play Live themed graphic while you're fundraising, then we have some graphics in here for you to use. We've also added a really cool St. Jude supporter badge, and I highly suggest you check it out. Lastly, we've also added an enhanced St. Jude chatbot, and we'll spend some more time talking about it later. So once you've clicked in to view the overlay that you want to use, you'll first notice here on the left side just some basic examples of what this particular overlay might look like on a game that you might want to stream. And on the right side, you'll see a little bit of description and a list of some of the features you can find within this particular overlay. And then if you scroll down, you'll notice some pretty easy to follow instructions of how to get this particular overlay into whatever software you choose to stream with. So let's go ahead and click Get Overlay right here. So you'll first see an example of what this overlay looks like, and all you have to do is go to your Tiltify campaign, get your slug and your username, and copy and paste it into your URL bar, and it'll pull in your particular campaign's information. So now we'll check out what this looks like on the actual stream itself. Now I'm going to walk you through the setup for how to get the overlay that we just saw added to your OBS software or whatever software you plan on using while you stream. First, you'll go down here to the plus symbol and you'll go down to browser, and we will give it a new name called Play Live Overlay. And then once you're here, you will go and grab the URL that you just created for your overlay, and you'll add it in here again with URL, your username, and your campaign slug. All these can be found within Tiltify. And then you'll add the correct width and height that is in the instructions for you and click OK, and your overlay will pop up on your stream. You can move these around anywhere you want to. It's pretty straightforward and simple, and so I hope you enjoy using it. I mentioned earlier that we're also rolling out some new chatbot enhancements to the chatbot that we originally rolled out last year. And one of the things that we'll continue to do that it did last year was post random St. Jude facts about the hospital into the chat. This will just allow your chat to learn more about who the hospital is and what it does. But the feature we're really excited about this year is that now the chatbot will connect directly to your Tiltify campaign. So it will track things like your fundraising goal, your fundraising amount, incentives and milestones that you've set up in Tiltify, and a lot more things. So let's say someone comes to your channel and they want the donate link. Instead of having to find that link and post it in the chat, there will be a command that comes with the chatbot that someone can just paste into your chat, and the chatbot will paste the link into your chat, directing them to your donation page for your campaign. And there will be a list of these commands that come with the chatbot out of the box. They range from everything from posting how much you've raised, to your goal, to any milestones you may have set, plus a lot of other chatbot commands that pertain to St. Jude and your campaign. We're really excited about this chatbot this year, and we hope you all really enjoy using it. All of us on the Play Life team are really excited about all the new tools and resources that we're rolling out for everyone this year, and we all hope you really enjoy using them. Again, you can find all of these at stjude.org/playlifetoolkit. But we also want to hear your feedback. So if you have any questions, comments, or technical issues, you can find us on Discord at discord.gg/stjudeplaylive or twitter.com/stjudeplaylive. Lastly, thank you all so much for the fundraising you do for the kids over at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and we really hope you enjoy all the new things we're offering you.
King.
This is Tango. His brother Oscar is staring at a water fountain right now, but he's a big boy.
This is Zelda. She's a Cocker Spaniel, and she's loving. And Han and Leia are out in the living room right now.
Maybe. Like, wait, I want attention too then. Hold on. Like, Mom.
Easy to do.
Super easy. Yeah.
It's not so much charitable related, and I know that's kind of the theme here, but I mean, just for me, if I look back at kind of like prior to coming to Square Enix, spending a bit over a year promoting God of War, right? Like we were always out there looking for fans that were engaging with our brand in really interesting and meaningful ways. And so I think when there's lulls, when you don't have like a beat or a product or it doesn't matter what you're doing, right? Going and finding people that are talking about your interest, your product, and inserting yourself into that conversation in a way that feels natural. From a brand perspective, one of my favorite stories is, it was around Christmas time, last Christmas, 2018 actually. And I just happened to be on my phone looking at Instagram, and I caught wind of this guy named Marius Herman. His name's Step on a Brick, and he's a Lego creator. And he had made this incredible Lego diorama for a scene from God of War. And I direct messaged him from our studio account. And I was like, this is amazing, absolutely incredible. Can we reshare this on our account? Hey, and then I thought, I'm gonna go to my boss. I'm like, what if we invited this guy to our studio and asked him if he wanted to rebuild his Lego creation inside of our studio in front of the team? Could we display it and honor him? And that's exactly what happened. It turned out that his parents, he lived in Germany, and his parents were taking a trip to LA, and they bought him a plane ticket, and then he spent the day at our studio, and he brought his Lego creation in a briefcase, and he remade it and put it in a glass case. We ended up doing a video about it, and to me, it's not the mac and cheese story, but it's my an example I would hang my hat on for ways that you can engage with your community and kind of the most unexpected kind of surprise and delight. If you're out there listening and looking for people talking about your brand, you will always find something. And the moment you even just knock on the door and say hello, you never know what's on the other side and what that can become. So for that reason, that's one of my favorite stories when you're in a lull looking for how to promote or keep your brand and name out there.
For me, I did something really, really dumb last year. So,
Great start off.
so 2 years
I love
ago,
these stories.
I made a promise that this one friend that hopped into my Guardian Con charity stream, that if we hit $30,000, I'd get his name in Comic Sans tattooed on my butt. And so we did hit that goal. I'm like,
oh shit.
Okay. And then so no, I'm not. And so what I did to promote last year going on the Guardian Con charity stream was, hey, if this thing gets 1,000 retweets promoting, like, hey, my Guardian Con block of 4 hours, I'll get that tattoo for real. And so I made that tweet, and I went and I got that tattoo because one, I kind of had to, because
You're kidding.
So what the thing is I was able to unveil my tattoo on the charity block, but it was a nice TOS friendly. It was TOS friendly, but it was like, hey, I did it, and that in a way that's guerrilla marketing, baby.
What's the wife think?
Anything for St. Jude. I think I could do anything for St. Jude, and she'd be cool with it. But you know what's awkward? Going to the gym. That is awkward.
Wait. I don't get it. Because you mean like when you're in the shower or something to lock
Yeah.
up? Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
you're like mooning everybody, and they're like,
yeah, that's the
only
like,
hey,
only time it's
Kyle.
awkward.
You're like, I don't know you. Yeah, you do.
Oh, that is so.
Yeah. Yeah. Guerrilla marketing.
That's
Back to
that's
charity.
definitely more bonkers than anything I've ever done or seen people do. I actually have no words. I'm like, it's just like, wow, you like did it for real. That's incredible.
I'm with you, Karen.
That's like that's pretty cool. I mean, like when there's a lull in donations or whatnot or activity, I suppose I often, and I'm lucky enough to have a community that will respond to this, but I will often just throw it to my community and just be like, all right, you guys get to decide what's going on now. So we'll either do, something that they'll actually get a chance to participate in. So something like Jackbox or marbles on stream where you can see everyone, like having something very visible instead of just I'm playing a game and we'll hit this and then this will happen. It's like, okay, now you get to see this, or giving them a little bit more power than maybe you should. But yeah, it is dangerous. But like I said, I'm very lucky to have a community that responds well and will actually behave. Um, some communities might not be able to respond as well to that, and that's okay. There's always different ways to kind of engage with your community and bring the energy back up. I mean, it also might be it might be an indicator that maybe you need to take a break. I find if your energy is low, then the energy in the room or in the stream might be a little bit lower, and often that just means, get up, go take a walk, have a stretch break or something, or come back tomorrow. And everything should be kind of back up to where it is. And that's totally okay to do too. So
All right. Well, I got it in my hand. I guess I just have to warm this thing up. I want you to know that thank you for donating to St. Jude. I'm a man of my word. I will use this wax strip removal. This is the cheap brand, so it will hurt. That's right. We close. I get real close.
I don't think any of us were expecting this, to be honest. So
Hey, okay, I'll make it 2 strips if we can get to 1,500. I'll make it 2. So we're at
Wait, 1,500 concurrent?
No, it donated.
Dollars. So I was like, what are we at?
Well, hey, just think about it.
1260.
All you need is $240, baby. And I'll do 2.
Boy.
And I'm really getting it on there too. So like, hey, strips, think about it. Think about this. It's right on the elbow too. So you tell me when I'm good to go. Tell me when to let it rip, Beyblade style.
Why am I nervous? I'm like sweating because of this. I can almost like feel it myself. Oh God.
I feel like Steve Irwin a little bit. Like, oh, I might. Hey, guy, got the dangerous wax strip right.
We have a streamer in his
a minute
natural environment.
1,300.
1,300. $200. What's the command?
Where are you gonna put the second one? Where are you gonna put it?
I was just gonna do like 2, like have a little like have like a nice little
There's like no hair there, dude. You gotta go somewhere where there's like
no hairy.
Oh, never mind. Okay. All right. I see it. Low bandwidth on the stream.
I know.
Oh man.
All right. Well, should we do it? Should we just do it? Tell me when. It's up to you.
Oh, there it is.
I'm good to go. Oh, there's 50. 150 to go, baby. Let's do this.
Holy smokes.
130 to go, baby. I feel like an auctioneer.
This is education, folks. This is education right here.
We're actually like showing by example how to engage with your community. Make it hurt.
I'm glad it's on
make it hurt like a lot, Oh gosh.
I still have the
people love paint. People love like shaving, or like people love, like putting makeup on or whatnot. Waxing, guys, waxing is like pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like so good.
All right. Let it rip. That hurt. There you go. Ow, that hurt. I feel like, ow, that hurt. There you go. Thank you for donating to St. Jude. If you want another one, I guess, how long do they have to do it? Yeah, so if you want that again, 1,500.
You didn't flinch. I was impressed.
This is a man who's done things
have to, like, turn it
for
up
charity.
Oh, no.
Holy crap.
No, but seriously, I think like
Seriously.
If there's anything that you have like, and you want to do for St. Jude, like make sure it's just TOS friendly. Always make sure of that. 100.
Yeah.
Enough, because like even though you might be trying to do some good for St. Jude, just make sure it's TOS friendly on whatever platform you're on. $100 away.
Smokes.
5 minutes. Well, is there anything you guys want to go over for the last 5 minutes?
I'm just curious at everybody's perspective at this phenomena of the way gamers are raising money for charity in droves. Like it wasn't this way, a few years ago, and it's fascinating. Like you see articles the likes of CNN and Yahoo and Newsweek covering it now, and literally calling out gamers for raising money for charity. I'm just curious what you guys think is what's driving it, right? Like how are in a time where we're living where money is tight for all of us with COVID and everything, yet where people are raising thousands and millions, people are literally opening up, donating right now. Like it's amazing.
For me, like so every April I try to do a fundraising stream, and with that, like it's just me promoting it, and I usually just do like a one like kind of like 12-hour like block. But this year COVID's going on, and it was like you can like there is a noticeable thing like, hey, it like not everyone is able to donate, and I understand that. And but the thing was is like there are people out there that might be in the fortunate pile of people that still wants to do good. And whether it's someone that's streaming, whether it's like even if it's a dollar, it's still helping. And whether your favorite streamer is Dr. Lupo, King Ithalian, Professor Broman, or whoever, it's that community. And like there's just like this like excitement that happens within those communities when anyone just donates. Like it like you feel good saying like, what, you donated $10, we're so close to this happening. And I just think it's a nice like thing to see. It's live, and I have to do that thing. Oh dang. It's Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
So, I think it's pretty cool. And like the other thing I will add, and then I'll rip, is like before, like people just would criticize video games. Like, oh, video games. Oh, why don't you do something real? Like, oh, and here we are. Gaming does good, Ow.
Oh.
That was one.
That one actually hurt.
That one looked like it hurt.
Thanks, guys.
Oh man, I wanna echo Kyle's statement there. Yeah, gaming does good. A lot of people gaming gets a pretty rough rep from a not as large a community now, but there definitely have been a lot of vocal people, and even like press that has just said, video games are not great or they cause certain issues or whatnot. But at the end of the day, we have made gaming into something that can affect other people. And St. Jude has helped with that, where we can come together and play games and, provide some kind of entertainment in one form or another and raise money for a really, really good cause. And especially in a time that is so uncertain like this, I think a lot of people realize that, with with such a crazy time, donating is actually still just as important, if not more. And obviously you have to take care of yourself first, you and your own. But if you have a little bit extra to spare for those who, could really use it, St. Jude is a really great venue or avenue for you to, uh, give and and provide for those kids.
Yeah, and I know I talked a lot, but the thing that really like changed my mind about gaming too, even though I was a huge gaming nerd, was the moment I was able to raise more money doing Twitch fundraising for St. Jude. than the radio stations I worked at were able to raise. And so you don't know the power you have, whether you're big or small.
Yep. Yeah. You,
I mean, whether
whether
you're
you're
content creator or content creator.
whether you're an artist or a gamer or a social media manager or just someone who really likes their cats, you can make a difference.
Or peeling their hair off for money.
Or
Yes, peeling your hair off.
oh God. And I mean,
There's
I'd
a
watch
market.
that. Oh, man. Are we going in order? Or...
You're live, Carolyn. You're live.
All right, here we go. Okay, you can find me.
Hot.
All right, yeah, you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Discord, anything. But more importantly, I would love if you guys would check out the teams that I help manage. So Confectionery and Would You Kindly. My St. Jude campaign actually started on the 1st of April, but I'm going to be doing the bigger push in May with the Confectionery team, and we're going to be doing stuff all together. So very excited about that. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me a message on Twitter. Always happy to answer. And yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Pretty much just as you said it, I'm just_tank on Twitter. You can always find me there all hours of the day. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys having me. It's really, really special. I don't have a St. Jude campaign started at the moment, but I think I donated some money during the stream. So here and now I'm starting my campaign and coming away super duper inspired. So I really, really do honestly appreciate being part of this. So thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Honestly, you were right. I was wrong. I had nothing to worry about, except cringing in pain myself as Blessius ripped hair out his arms.
Sure. If you saw me checking under my desk, I was making sure that my dog didn't hit the power off switch on the circuit breaker. You can find me daily twitch.tv/Blessius or at Blessius Plays on both Twitter and Instagram. This like a week or 2 weeks ago, we did a St. Jude campaign and raised $7,000 for St. Jude, and that was a really cool thing. And during this block, I was just asked to be part of the GCX Guardian Con stream, so I guess that's going to be the next one. Sweet. Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
This place has really shown us the strength of what can happen when so many people work together as one. People want to be a part of the cure.
guys get out the door, you don't get chemo anymore. Woo!